2025 isn't just another year, it's the dawn of a new era, a technological revolution. And as major power players are shifting, AI is rapidly transforming industries, automating millions of jobs and creating wealth for a select few. But as exciting as this sounds, there's a darker side. The rise of AI could mean the end of opportunity for those who don't adapt. And the truth is, AI is going to dominate every corner of the economy. But here's the good news. You can still get ahead right now. And in this video, I'll show you how to leverage AI in the digital economy to build a profitable business and figure out the best online business to start as a beginner before this AI revolution becomes mainstream. And if you're still sitting here right now thinking this is just another passing trend or just some random Asian making a video to scare you, then wake up. Remember when you laughed at your parents for not understanding how to use the internet or a credit card? Well, in a few years, your kids will be laughing at you for not keeping up with AI. And this isn't just a trend, it's a complete shift in power. And those who don't adapt will be left behind, watching the world move on without them. So without further ado, my name is Trevor Zhang, and over the years, I've helped countless entrepreneurs navigate the world of online business. And inside of this video, I'm going to show you the most profitable business models for 2025 and how you can prepare yourself for what's to come. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to break down 6 essential metrics that you must evaluate before you choose any of these business models. Number 1, being profit per sale. How much do you make per transaction? Number 2, startup capital. How much money do you need to get started? Number 3, profit margins. What percentage of your revenue do you keep? Number 4, demand. How big is the market for your product or service? And number 5, fulfillment. How hard is it to deliver what you're selling? And number 6, scalability. How easy is it to grow your business? These are the metrics that we're going to use to compare the most common online business models. We'll cover the major models: AI automation, YouTube automation, traditional dropshipping, Amazon FBA, SMMA, and finally, why high-ticket dropshipping stand out above the rest. Let's start with AI automation, one of the most exciting developments in the world of online business. AI is changing everything, from how we interact with customers to how we analyze data. And while AI automation offers huge potential, it's not a complete business model on its own. Here's why. First, let's talk about profits per sale. AI automation is typically used to optimize existing business operations rather than generating direct sales. You're using AI to streamline tasks like customer service, product recommendations, or marketing strategies. And the challenge is that unless you're pairing AI with a high-ticket product or service, your profits are limited. And when it comes to startup capital, implementing AI systems can require significant investment, especially if you're building custom solutions. Off-the-shelf AI tools are more affordable, but they come with limitations. Either way, the upfront cost can be high, and it may take time to see a return on that investment. Profit margins also vary depending on how you're using AI. If AI is automating tasks in a high-ticket business, the margins can be excellent. But in a lower margin business, the AI just becomes another tool that helps you operate without significantly increasing your revenue. And demand for AI solutions is growing rapidly, but it's mostly among established businesses looking to optimize their processes. For a beginner without a product or service to sell, AI doesn't really provide a clear path to revenue. It's more of a support tool than a business model. And when it comes down to fulfillment, AI is highly efficient. It can handle customer service, data analysis, and marketing automation without much human input. But it still requires monitoring, and you'll need to tweak and optimize the AI over time to ensure it's delivering the best results. And finally, scalability is strong with AI. Once implemented, AI systems can scale easily without requiring more work. But again, it really depends on what you're automating. AI is a tool for scaling existing businesses. It's not a business model in itself. Next up, we have YouTube automation. And this business model promises passive income by automating content creation. And the idea is to run faceless YouTube channels, outsourcing everything from video creation to SEO optimization, and then monetizing through ads, sponsorships, and affiliate marketing. But while it sounds simple, there are some real challenges. Let's talk about profits per sale. In YouTube automation, you're not selling a product, you're selling attention. And so profit comes from YouTube's ad revenue, which averages a few dollars per 1,000 views. That means you need millions of views to generate significant income. Even with automated video production, the profits are limited by the unpredictability of YouTube's algorithm. As for startup capital, YouTube's automation is relatively affordable if you're creating videos yourself, but most people outsource the work, paying for script writing, editing, voiceovers, and SEO. And if your video doesn't perform well, then it can take months to even recoup those costs. And profit margins can be high once your channel is generating consistent views, but it's a long and unpredictable process. One viral video could bring in thousands, but you're still at the mercy of YouTube's algorithm. The real challenge is really just achieving consistent success, because each video, you don't know if it's going to be successful or it's not going to be successful. Demand for YouTube's content is massive. People consume billions of hours of videos every single day. Competition is fierce, and growing a channel from scratch takes time, patience, and a deep understanding of the platform's ever-changing trends. When it comes to fulfillment, YouTube automation can run fairly passively once set up, but it's not completely hands-off. You'll need to consistently upload content, monitor performance, and tweak your strategy. Plus, keeping up with the trends to ensure your videos remain relevant is key. As for scalability, while YouTube automation has potential, if you can build multiple successful channels, then the income can scale exponentially. But that's easier said than done. YouTube is a fickle platform, and success is never guaranteed. And now, the third business model that we're going to talk about is going to be traditional dropshipping, one of the most popular business models out there for beginners. And the concept is pretty simple. You find cheap products on platforms like AliExpress or Alibaba, mark them up, and sell them through your own online store. Sounds great, right? Well, here's why it's a trap for most people. Let's talk about the profits per sale. In traditional dropshipping, you're typically selling products in the $10 to $50 range. That means you're only making a small profit on each sale, maybe $5 or up to $15 per transaction. To hit your income goals, you need to sell hundreds of products each month. Imagine needing to make 300 sales just to hit $10,000 in revenue. That's exhausting, and it's exactly why so many people burn out. Now let's look at startup capital. While you don't have to invest in inventory up front, you still need to spend money on advertising. And while finding a winning product isn't easy, you'll often burn through hundreds if not thousands of dollars in ads before you find something that sells. Also, with profit margins with traditional dropshipping, they are razor thin, usually around 10 to 20% if you're even making $10,000 in sales. You're only pocketing $1,000 to $2,000 in profit. And that's before factoring into returns and refunds, which can eat away at your margins even further. Then there's the issue of demand. Sure, people are always buying cheap products online, but you're competing with thousands of other sellers offering the exact same items. You end up in a race to the bottom, consistently slashing your prices just to stay competitive. And with that being said, let's just talk about fulfillment now. Most traditional dropshipping suppliers are based in China, which means long shipping times, often weeks for your customers to receive their orders. That leads to a ton of customer complaints, returns, and bad reviews, which can absolutely tank your business before it even gets off the ground. And finally, let's discuss scalability. The more you sell, the more problems you have to deal with. Tracking shipments, handling customer complaints, managing refunds. Traditional dropshipping is hard to scale because every sale adds more work and more headaches. It's not just a business model that gives you freedom, it locks you into a cycle of constant stress. With that being said, next up we have Amazon FBA, which also stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. On the surface, it seems like the most perfect business model. You sell products on Amazon, they handle everything from storage to shipping to customer service, but here's what most people don't realize. There are serious risks that can cripple your business. Let's just start with just profit margins per sale. With Amazon FBA, you're selling products in the $20 to $300 range, depending on your niche. While you can make a decent profit per sale, it's still nothing like the profits from selling high ticket items. You need a high volume of sales to hit consistent or significant income numbers. Now let's talk about startup capital. Here's where Amazon FBA becomes a real money pit. You need to buy inventory upfront, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 just to stock your products. And if your products don't sell, you're stuck with unsold inventory that eats away at your cash flow. Profit margins in Amazon FBA are thin, especially after Amazon takes its cut, which can be as high as 30 to 40% of your revenue. So even if you make $10,000 in sales, you're left with maybe $6,000. And that's before you factor into storage fees, shipping costs, marketing expenses. Your actual take-home profit can be as low as 5 to 7%. And demand is high because Amazon is the largest online marketplace in the world, but with high demand comes high competition, and you're up against thousands of other sellers. And here's a kicker. Amazon itself can become your biggest competitor. If your product starts selling well, Amazon can create its own version and sell under Amazon's basic label, its own private label brand, cutting you out your own success. And when it comes to fulfillment, Amazon does handle the logistics, but you're paying for that convenience, and it eats away into your profit margins. Plus, you're at the mercy of Amazon's policies. If they suspend your account, your entire business disappears overnight, just like a snap of a finger. And scalability is a mixed bag. On one hand, Amazon can scale pretty quickly because it handles the infrastructure, But on the other hand, you're always at risk of losing everything if Amazon decides to shut down your account or change its policies. Alright, the next business model that we're going to look at is going to be SMMA, which stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. Social Media Marketing Agencies, or SMMA, has become one of the most popular business models for people looking to leverage their online marketing skills. And the idea is pretty simple. You help other businesses run their social media ads, manage their accounts, or generate leads. But here's the reality for most people trying to break into SMMA. It's a constant client chase. With SMMA, you can charge clients anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000 a month. And while that sounds amazing, but here's the problem. You're trading time for money. Each client you take on requires hours of work, and managing multiple clients can quickly turn to a full-time job. As for startup capital, technically you don't need much to get started, but what you do need is time, and a lot of time. You'll spend weeks, even months cold calling, sending emails, and networking just to land your first client. And even once you do, there's no guarantee that the client will stick around long term. Profit margins, however, are high, usually 70-80%, but that comes at a cost. The more clients you take on, the more time you have to dedicate to running their campaigns, tweaking ads, holding meetings, and troubleshooting. It's exhausting, and many people burn out before they even reach their income goals. Demand for these marketing services is high, but convincing business owners to trust you with their marketing budget is tough, especially when you're just starting out with no track record. You're competing against agencies with years of experience, and that makes client acquisition a major challenge. Fulfillment is where SMMA becomes a grind. You're constantly monitoring ad performance, adjusting strategies, and dealing with clients who expect immediate results. And if you don't deliver, clients drop you and you're back to square one. As for scalability, it's pretty limited. You can only take on so many clients before you hit a wall. Unless you hire a team, you'll find yourself working 12-hour days just to keep up with your workload. It's not a passive income model by any means. And now let's talk about the last business model, called high-ticket dropshipping. And this is the model that changed everything for me, and I'm confident that it could do the same for you. But here's the deal. Instead of just telling you why it's great, let's compare it with the other business models we discussed and really break down why it stands above the rest. First up, let's look at profits per sale. In high-ticket dropshipping, we're selling products in the $1,000 to $5,000 range, sometimes even higher. That means you're making anywhere from $500 to $2,000 or even more profit per sale. Compare that to traditional dropshipping, where you're making $5 to $15 per sale, which just means you need hundreds of transactions just to hit your income goals. Compare it to Amazon FBA, you might see a similar price point, but Amazon takes its 30 to 40% cut, your profit margins per sale shrink dramatically. And with SMMA, you might charge clients anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000 a month, but the issue is you're trading time for money. Each client demands hours of your attention, limiting your ability to scale. And then there's YouTube automation, where the profits are based on attention, and unless you're getting millions of views, the dollars you make per 1,000 views are a fraction of what you make with high-ticket sales. And with high-ticket dropshipping though, just a few sales a month can get you to $10,000 or more in profit. And that's really just the power of quality over quantity. And now let's talk about startup capital. One of the biggest advantages to high-ticket dropshipping is the low startup cost. You don't need to invest in inventory up front. You only purchase the product once you make a sale, and your supplier handles the shipping. That's a huge win compared to Amazon FBA, where you need to sink thousands of dollars into inventory, and if it doesn't sell, you're stuck with unsold stock. And traditional dropshipping doesn't require inventory, but you're still selling hundreds if not thousands on testing products through ads. SMMA doesn't have this inventory issue, but you're investing time and energy into chasing these clients, and without a track record, that's a tough sell. With YouTube automation, there's still an upfront investment. Outsourcing video creation, editing, SEO optimization, challenge is recouping those costs when your videos aren't guaranteed to perform well. High-ticket dropshipping keeps your costs low because you're only paying for what you already sold, and you don't need to waste money on endless testing. Now, let's look at profit margin. Well, with high-ticket dropshipping, you're typically seeing margins in the 30 to 50% range, and that means if you make $10,000 in sales, you're keeping $3,000 to $5,000 in profit. Compare that to traditional dropshipping, where you're lucky if you even see 10 to 20% margins, leaving you with razor-thin profits. With Amazon FBA, after Amazon takes its cuts, your margins can drop to 5 to 7%, and it's even worse when you consider storage fees and shipping costs. SMMA has high margins, 70 to 80%, but you're tied to how many clients you can physically manage, which caps your scalability. And then with YouTube automation, yes, the margins are decent once your channel is monetized, but it's unpredictable. You're at the mercy of YouTube's algorithm, and one algorithm change could absolutely crush your income and your revenue. High-ticket dropshipping gives you the healthy margins without all the risks of low-ticket dropshipping or relying on a platform like Amazon or YouTube. Now let's dive into demand. You might think that fewer people are willing to buy high-ticket items because they're expensive, but here's the truth. High ticket buyers are serious buyers. They're not browsing for cheap gadgets. They're looking for quality and they're ready to spend. With traditional dropshipping, you're dealing with tons of competition. You're selling the same low cost products as thousands of other sellers, and it's a race to the bottom. Amazon FBA has massive demand, but you're competing with millions of other products, and you're also up against Amazon itself. If your product does well, Amazon will copy and sell it as an Amazon Basics item. SMMA has demand, but the challenge is convincing business owners to trust you with their budget, especially when you're just starting out. Well, YouTube automation, sure, there's massive demands for content, but standing out among billions of videos is tough. Plus, relying on YouTube's algorithm makes it a gamble. High ticket dropshipping has less competition in the high ticket space, and the buyers who come through are ready to purchase. So you're not fighting for an oversaturated market, you're working with serious customers who are looking for value. Now, let's talk about fulfillment. This is where high ticket dropshipping really wins. Your supplier handles the shipping and customer service. You're not managing inventory, you're not stuck dealing with returns, and you're not wasting time handling customer complaints. Compare that to traditional dropshipping, where long shipping times leads to angry customers and tons of refunds. Amazon FBA does handle fulfillment, but you're paying hefty fees for it. Plus, if Amazon decides to suspend your account, your entire business could disappear overnight. SMMA, well, fulfillment is all on you. You're running campaigns, tweaking ads, handling clients is exhausting. With YouTube automation, it is more passive, but you're still overseeing video production, keeping up with trends, managing SEO strategies just to make sure your content even stays relevant. And with high ticket dropshipping, it allows you to outsource your headache. Your supplier deals with those logistics for you, and you get to focus on actually growing your business. Finally, let's talk about scalability. With high ticket dropshipping, it scales beautifully. Once you find a winning product in a winning niche in a profitable ad campaign, you simply scale by increasing your ad budget. You're not bogged down by inventory, you're not tied to client meetings or manual work like SMMA. Traditional dropshipping gets harder to scale because as you sell more, you face more customer issues, more refunds, and more time spent on fulfillment. With Amazon FBA, you have the potential to scale, but you're always at risk of running out of stock or facing cash flow issues trying to maintain your inventory. SMMA, there's only so many hours in a day. To scale, you need to build a team, and that's a whole new set of challenges, especially for a beginner. With YouTube automation, success is never guaranteed. Building multiple channels can be a strategy for scaling, but again, it's a long road and highly unpredictable. High ticket dropshipping is scalable without the burnout. You're making fewer sales with higher profit margins, and you're not tied down by the manual work that limits other business models. Now that we've broken it all down, it's clear why high ticket dropshipping is a superior business model. It combines big profits, low startup costs, healthy margins, strong demand, and scalability in a way that other business models just can't match. Sure, SMMA and YouTube automation have their advantages, but they come with major downsides. Either you're trading time for money, or you're relying on unpredictable algorithms. High ticket dropshipping, on the other hand, gives you the best of all worlds. It gives the freedom to scale without the stress, and it gives you a clear path to financial success. Now let's take a moment and imagine where you could be just a few months from now. You followed the steps we talked about, chosen a high ticket product, set up a store, and started running profitable ads. Now you're seeing 10K, 20K, or even 50K a month from just a handful of sales. Imagine not worrying about making hundreds of low margin sales like you would in traditional dropshipping. No more fighting for attention on YouTube, or no more constantly chasing clients in SMMA. You're not stressed about inventory management like in Amazon FBA, and you're not dealing with razor thin profit margins that makes it hard to grow. Instead, you're running a business that works for you, one where each sale brings in serious profit. A business with fewer moving parts, one that scales effortlessly without the constant grind that comes with other models. Imagine what that kind of financial freedom would feel like. Whether it's spending more time with your family, traveling the world, or simply having the peace of mind that comes with steady, predictable income, that's the reality of high ticket dropshipping. And this is your chance to take control of your future. It's about more than just money. It's about freedom. The freedom to design your own life and the freedom to live on your own terms. So if you're serious about building a business that will change your life, I invite you to apply for my one-on-one coaching program. Here's the deal. I can only take on 10 students per month, and these spots fill up fast. And if you're ready to scale your business to 10K a month profit or more in the next 24 weeks, this program is for you. But this isn't for everyone. I only work with people who are committed to taking action, people who are ready to put in the work and follow the steps. And if that's you, hit the link down below and apply. Together, we'll build a business that not only hits your financial goals, but gives you the freedom to live your life on your own terms. And if you're not ready for one-on-one coaching just yet, then no worries. You can still join my Peak Flow Academy community for free. Inside, you'll find over 10 hours of resources, guides, and case studies to help you get started with high-ticket dropshipping. It's a community of people just like you making real moves and seeing real results every single day. And if you stuck with me until now, I just wanted to say thank you, because That shows that you're serious about creating a real change in your life. And I want to remind you of one thing. The world is changing fast, and the business models of the past are no longer the path to success. We're living in the era of AI, automation, and high-tech e-commerce, and the people who adapt will be the ones who thrive. And the people who understand the power of high-ticket dropshipping will be the ones who achieve real financial freedom. So if this video helped you, if you're ready to take action, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop a comment with the word e-com below, and I'll send you a special guide to help you get started with your first high-ticket sale. Remember, your future is in your own hands. Success in 2025 comes down to choosing the right business model, and high-ticket dropshipping is the fastest path to financial freedom. This could be your year, the year everything changes, and the choice is yours.